Hello and welcome to this video. So today we're going to be looking at ADK Observability, or basically how we can instrument our multi-agent systems with the ability to see the internals of the system by watching external metrics or signals. So for those of us who don't come from a DevOps or observability background, what observability basically is a way for us to infer the internals of our system by just looking at the external signals that the system emits. So you can think about this like a driver sitting on the driver's seat, driving a nice vehicle, and they have this signals dashboard in front of them where they can see what's happening within the car without actually looking at the subcomponents of the vehicle. They can see the oil level, they can see the engine performance level, and all of that. So basically, that dashboard that they see those signals in, they can track what's happening within the vehicle without actually being inside of the vehicle, or rather looking at the physical engine. And that way they can avert catastrophic events from happening by ensuring that the vehicle is serviced when it needs to, the oil is topped up when it needs to, and all of that. So with that being said, ADK Agent Observability is a way for us to see what's happening inside of our agents. So we're talking about LLM calls, tool calls, callbacks, and all of that. At what points in the workflow are those tools or those agents, sub-agents, or LLMs called? And what are the requests or the response looking like? And how do we debug the full lifecycle of our agents? And that's where observability comes into play in agent development. Now, by default, ADK provides some very useful options out of the box for us, like structured logs and distributed tracing. So this is already enabled as long as you're using the Google ADK SDK by default. You just have to toggle a few parameters to get those working. And ADK also supports a couple of configurations, especially for structured logging. Now, by default, ADK login comes with a default severity configuration, and that is the info level. So this basically would just log agent lifecycle events like LLM calls and tool calls, but it's very configurable. So you can actually change that by either configuring it to debug, so you can see much more information about what's happening in the system. This means the full LLM prompts, system instructions, tool arguments, state transitions, but actually we'll talk about some security implications of that in a bit. So by just enabling these configurations, you get a lot out of the box in terms of structured logging and understanding your system much more. But this just gives you the logs. In your terminal, you need a physical interface to be able to view these logs or view these traces. For the traces, the ADK Web UI helps locally, and we're going to look at that as well. And we're going to look at how we can have a visual interface to visualize our logs and the traces in a much more performant or production scenario. Now, besides the defaults that ADK provides us out of the box, ADK also provides us with integrations. So integrations that we can plug into our ADK instrumentation, such as Agent Ops, Google Cloud Trace as well. We're going to be instrumenting Google Cloud Trace for our Cloud Run agent development. ADK also supports multiple other integrations for observability of your multi-agent systems. If you just go to the ADK tools and integrations page, you will see a whole lot of options. Some of them are listed here. And also, we're going to be looking at platforms like Agent Ops that provides us with things like session replay, full trace visibility, tokens tracking as well. So this way you can see how much your agent calls are costing you. Agent Ops is a purpose-built platform for production monitoring of your AI agents. So we're going to look at how we can set that up as well. All right, so let's start instrumenting our WealthPilot application and see what we get out of the box with ADK and for what aspects we're going to need extensions. All right, so now we're going to start instrumenting our WealthPilot application with some logging and tracing that ADK gives us out of the box. Now over here from the root of my multi-agent systems, we have our WealthPilot multi-agent system, which we're going to be using for this demo. And here I'm going to run ADK Web from that root directory just so that I can preview my WealthPilot application, and let's see what logs ADK gives us out of the box. By default, ADK gives us some info level logs. So let's take a look at that. And this should go ahead and start up ADK Web for us so we can preview our application. Okay, so now we have our ADK Web server running on port 8000. So if I go to a browser and we load localhost port 8000, we can select our WealthPilot application. And now I'm just going to give it a query. I'll say analyze APL, so Apple stock for 50K investment over 5 years. And let's say medium risk tolerance. Now what we expect is if we go back to the terminal, we'll start seeing some logs. So we can start seeing some info level logs from ADK. For example, you can see this line here that says sending out request. We can see the model, We can see the backend is responsible for handling that request as well. And we can see a few of those here as well, sending out requests and the response from the model. But we don't see what the actual request is. We don't see where the actual response is from the model. And we don't really see a lot about the interaction between our system and the tools and the callbacks that we have, because we did implement some callbacks for this multi-agent system, which we know about. And we did implement some tools and we did implement some sub-agents as well. But you can see by default, we don't really get a lot from info level logs. So we're going to tweak that to debug and see how much we can get. So again here, I'm just going to stop ADK Web now. And this time around, when I start ADK Web, I'm going to provide a log level and we set that to debug. And this time we should start seeing a whole lot more logs from ADK. Once again, I'm just going to copy our prompt here that we use just so we make sure we have that logged in. So let's copy our prompt, analyze APL. And we're going to start a new session. Just refresh, make sure we have the updated ADK instance. And then if I run that command again, this time we should start seeing a whole lot of logs being produced by ADK in the terminal. So there you go. We are already seeing a whole lot of logs in debug mode. Now keep in mind how ADK debug mode can be very, very noisy. So you want to make sure you only enable this if you actually want to debug something, or you're actually looking at the very low level communications between the sub-agents, the LLMs, the callbacks, the tools. As you can see here, this time around, when the request has been sent out to the LLM, we can actually see the LLM request object. We can see our system instructions, so the default instructions we provided. And we can also see some additional instructions that are appended to the LLM call by ADK. So things like this, where we see the only available agents for transfer to agent function analysis pipeline. So ADK by default injects the transfer to agent tool to the LLM request. So we do see that here as well. But you can see we're starting to see very low level details. We can see configurations as well for a thinking budget, which was in here. We can see our multi-path content. We can see functions and the transfer to agent tool that's provided as well. We get all this detailed information, the function call as well. And when the LLM responded in this case, which is responding with a function call, we can see the whole function call return object here as well. This gives us a lot more information that we can use to actually debug our agents if we really want to fix something. You can see the different tools as well that are called, the parameters that are passed in. In this case, we have our ticker symbol, which is passed in here as APL. This is very useful for debugging. As you can see, there's a whole lot of details here, information, and we can see the request response for every single LLM call that's made. Okay, so I'm just going to kill that because this is flooding my terminal with lots of logs. But now you see how we can enable debug mode in ADK Web, and this is useful for us for debugging locally. Now, something else ADK gives us is tracing information. So right here over in our ADK Web interface, if I go back and I click on any of the responses, let's say this one, which is our thinking, over here on the left, you can see we get this whole panel that gives us detailed information about every single event that's sent. We can see the multi-path, you can see the model version, the function call. All the detailed information we need is actually available from ADK Web. So ADK Web can be a huge security nightmare when it comes to the amount of information it exposes. So that's why by default, you shouldn't deploy ADK Web to your production environment. So you can see all the events here. We can see a lot of details about them. And if I click on one of the tool calls, we can see additional information for each tool call as well. So something else that ADK gives us out of the box is a detailed call stack or the trace of our multi-agent system. Now, WealthPilot is a complex multi-agent system, but we can actually see what a detailed call stack actually looks like. In the ADK interface here, we have this item called trace. And if I click on the trace invocation here, we can actually see detailed information about how the multi-agent system invokes the different LLM calls, the tool calls as well. And we can actually see where the time is spent for each of those requests. You can see the LLM call here is taking over 36,000 microseconds. And we can see a lot more information about where time is spent for debugging. So if we need to figure out why our agent is running slow, we can see where all the time is being spent, and we can optimize the different subcomponents of our agents. So this is very useful, but then this information is only local, because if I restart this local ADK Web instance, I'm going to lose all this trace information. In production, we want to keep this data over time for analysis or for audit. And that's where CloudTrace or third-party integrations to store your log and tracing data for your multi-agent systems comes into play. So we're going to be looking at that next. All right, so now if you remember, we did deploy our WealthPilot application to Google Cloud Run. So in this case, we want to make sure we enable Cloud Run Trace Collection for our agent that's running on Google Cloud. Now, GCP supports out of the box a CloudTrace flag that as soon as you enable that and you deploy your agent to Google Cloud Run, for example, and you have the API enabled or agent engine, you're able to collect those tracing information on Google Cloud Trace. And that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Now, we did deploy to Cloud Run using the ADK deploy command. So here, I'm just adding a flag here called trace to cloud. When you enable this flag, when you're deploying to Cloud Run, it's going to collect trace from our application and forward those to Google Cloud Trace. Now, just make sure you have the Google Cloud Trace API enabled. If you don't have that, you can enable that from the GCP UI. So with this, I'm enabling CloudTrace for our agentic application. So I'm just going to run this. Something else I'm setting here is the auto instrumentation GenAI capture message content. So the prompts like, so by default, tracing information will not include the message prompt or the message content because of security reasons, obviously. But if you want to enable that, you can set this to true and that will enable that for you. I'm going to run this command, and what this will do is going to update a Cloud Run deployment and enable this environment variable for us and also enable Cloud Trace collection. Now, you might notice that our deploy command is getting a bit longer with all the set secrets, set envars. So if you keep piling on all the additional env variables in here, it's eventually going to become tough to manage. So in another video, we're going to look at how we can possibly deploy this using maybe a CI pipeline, maybe GitHub Actions, or even using Google Cloud Build. So that way we have a much more seamless deployment. So maybe we push our code to a Git repository and automatically the pipeline kicks up and deploys our agent for us. All right, so we can see our Cloud Run application or Cloud Run agent is fully deployed in this case on GCP. And we can go ahead on GCP this time around, and we're going to go to Cloud Run. And we can see our WealthPilot service is running and it was just updated. We can take a look to confirm that our environment variables are indeed in place. And right here, we can see auto instrumentation GenAI capture. So all of that is in place. Now we can go ahead and test our application to generate some logs or some traces as well. So here, I'm just going to start the WealthPilot Vercel application. So WealthPilot UI to Vercel app. Now remember, we deployed our application to Vercel. Now this is connected to our Cloud Run backend. So let's query it. Analyze APR for 50K investment over 5 years. Moderate tolerance. Okay, so you can see WealthPilot is starting up and it should begin to process our request in a minute. And if everything is working this time around, if we go to Google Cloud Trace, we should be able to see the trace for the different interactions that the agent is having with its sub-component. Okay, so this is working. Just gonna let that complete, and then we're gonna check Google Cloud Trace. Here we can see our multi-agent application here running and analyzing the stock, building up our portfolio, and finally generating a report, which is now ready. All right, awesome. So that completed. So if we go back to Google, and this time around, we're going to go to Cloud Trace. So Cloud Trace. And there you go. We can see a whole bunch of trace information now for our WealthPilot application. If I click on the run SSE endpoint, which is the backend endpoint we're using for our model to connect to our frontend, we can see the different trace or invocations here, trace spans. And let's select any of them. For example, if we click on the root span, we should be able to see the sub component call. So root SSE, we can see it has this call here. We can see informations about the log, about the events as well, those tracked. But let's see if we can find a root span and we can view much more information about it. Now, let's look at the WealthPilot one here. Can turn that one off. And this time around, let's open one of them, which is the most recent one we just did, 1219. So let's open that one. And we have a DB sessions call here from this session. But basically, we can see trace information is starting to accumulate in here. By the way, it takes a while for all the trace information to fully display. Just make sure you're giving it some time there. But I'm looking for like the root span information. Show expanded. I want to see like the root span. Now, I don't know if Google Cloud Trace by default is going to show us the root span because it seems to be showing the sub components call here. But I really want to see the root span where I can view all the subspans from. Similar to what we saw in ADK Web. Or maybe the Cloud Trace option doesn't give us that out of the box. Okay, so it looks like they have a root span drop down here. So if I select root span, let's see if we can view the root span. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically ADK shows the subspans as different span IDs here, as each of those subspans can also be root spans. I think that's what's happening here. In the next video, we're going to look at how we can use agent ops to actually view our traces. And in agent ops use case, we expect to see a single root span that will give us the whole breakdown similar to what we see in ADK Web. All right, so that's how you get your traces over to Google Cloud Trace. And that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Something else I want to quickly mention is if you're building or running your own custom runner, so let's say you're not using ADK Web or ADK Run, you are building a custom runner like what we're doing here in main.py. In this case, when you're instrumenting login and you want to configure the login, you need to use the Python login library. So like we said earlier, ADK uses the Python login library out of the box. So you want to import login, and then all you have to do is to just configure the Python login here, because ADK uses that by default. So you want to set the level and then the format as well. Otherwise, it'll just use the default format.